Welcome to Black Baby Daddy, where we discuss everything relationship, fatherhood, motherhood, the whole 9 yards. With me today, I have the homies. Big Berg, what's up, baby?
Hey.
And my man Tyler. No, you give me that.
It's okay. It's okay. What's up, man?
What's happening with you?
How y'all doing?
I'm here.
Good.
We're great.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, so I actually wanted to talk about not necessarily Nick Cannon, right? Because he's welcoming his 9th child this month or something like that. He has
Don't you
2
got
more
9
away.
kids? 8? Like that.
Berg, you ain't had to hit me like
I'm
that.
so sorry.
You said Nick Cannon.
I know, but you can
In
relate.
public.
We all can relate.
You
Absolutely.
How many kids you got?
2.
All right, well, you good too. You up there with us.
Exactly. I mean, you right. I'm
So
okay.
here's my question though, right? Because it seems like the women that he's with actually know that he's having these other children with other women, right? How would y'all feel about dating someone with multiple baby moms or baby dad? Because that's something that you could do, or is it like taboo? Like what would that look like? Or just in general, I guess. Like, what do y'all think about that?
I just would want to know the story behind it. Like,
Behind Nick
What?
Cannon, or your situation? Like, if it was your situation.
In general, like, why so many? Like, were these relationships where you just out here slanging and banging? Like, what? Like, what's up? I just want to know what's up first,
Okay.
and then I would make a decision based off of.
Okay, so you're not opposed to it though.
I'm not completely opposed. However, I just need to know what's up. I got to know what's up.
Okay, what about you, Tyler? Is that something you would be okay with, or what are your thoughts?
Dating a woman with multiple baby daddies?
Nah, that may be a no.
Yeah, no.
Woman, because what the hell she out here doing?
No, I mean, yeah, you're right.
Right.
Because women, rarely does that happen.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to say rarely. It doesn't happen often,
I mean, but you don't think that's because the stigma that society puts on women, a man and a woman, because we're both humans, right? Mm-hmm. But if a man's out here fucking around and fucking women, he the man. But if a woman's doing the same thing, she a hoe.
Yeah.
Right.
So you don't think that has something to do with that?
Oh, I think it has a lot to do with it, to be honest with you. I don't necessarily classify him as that because, anything can happen. You could be with a guy, you could have 2 kids, and it just don't work out. Mm-hmm. So now you single, you back out there. Then you meet another guy, and y'all might be together for a few years, might have another kid. Mm-hmm. And then let's just say, God forbid, he passes away. Mm-hmm. So now, of course, he's not in the picture anymore, so you're not really dealing with 2 different baby daddies, but she has kids by different guys. Mm-hmm. But I just go on the circumstance and the situation. Me personally, being that Ferg and told y'all that I got kids by multiple women, all my kids are by different women. So I think what really helps me out in that situation is we only deal with each other on the basis of the kids. Mm-hmm. We're not messing around, we're not having sex. One of my kids' mother has a boyfriend, the other one is married. You see what I'm saying? So we understand that we're there for the child. So I don't have that issue. If I didn't tell you I had kids, you probably wouldn't even know. Right. Because it's not a problem or issue with me. So I would hate for somebody to say, oh, I'm not messing with him because he has multiple kids by multiple women, when they don't understand the situation. So back to what you were saying, it's important to have that conversation, that story, that backdrop.
But would the issue be multiple baby mamas or baby daddies, and you're questioning the person's character, or is it not wanting to deal with the baby daddies or baby mamas and hoping or assuming that there's gonna be drama?
I think the issue, as far as from a female's perspective, looking at a guy, for me, for instance, kids by different women, I think they would look at me as, okay, just on the surface, oh, well.
He was out here in these streets at one point.
Yeah, out here in these streets, he doesn't have stability. He's not going to stay with the woman. He have kids with him. He leave him. So I look like a statistic out here. Mm-hmm. Kids by different women. Like, oh, he can get you pregnant. He'll leave you. So I get that. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. But that's just from a society perspective.
Right.
I'm a statistic. But when you sit down and talk to me and have a conversation about my situation, even though I got kids by different women, I got better relationships with them than guys who got one baby mother.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like I know guys who got one baby mother and going through hell.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, my kid's mother has watched my kids while I went somewhere.
Oh,
you see what I'm
like
saying?
the other kids, right?
Yeah, like the other kids. Like
Amazing.
I done dropped them off while I went to a Made in America concert and she watched my kids for me. Spring break, watched my kids and my nieces. You see what I'm saying? So
That's a good woman.
yeah, but see the key to that is I'm not doing nothing with them. I'm not messing with them. I'm not sticking and moving and then going back and doing what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? Because that brings the confusion, I think.
Right.
Females a little different. If you got multiple kids by multiple baby daddies, I think what we tend to think about and what we tend to what we tend to think about is the guy crazy? You see what I'm saying? Is you may be done with him, but is he done with you? Like I don't want to be over here playing PlayStation
Those two different things.
and he knocking on the door because you may be done with him, but he
Right.
may not be done with you. And you get those dudes out there. I don't want nobody around my kids, but you ain't around your kids.
Right.
So you mean to tell me this is gonna always be a problem? Every time a guy come around, who this dude at my kid?
Right.
Hey man, this guy is just important as you.
Would that make you want to be like, you know what, this is just too much?
It'll be too much for me.
Right.
And even if she a good woman, but you got to establish that. You got to get that straight.
Right.
Because that could cause a problem in our relationship. And it's not nothing that you're doing. It's what he's doing. I'm looking out for
But
the
why
safety of
hold
me.
her accountable for somebody else's actions?
I get what you're
That's bringing
saying.
static to
I see what
you,
you're
though.
saying.
You know what I'm
But-
saying?
What I'm saying is, what if I'm in Target and he sees me? Oh, that's a dude that been around, and he with his boys or something like that. That's a dude that be
Right.
around my son, man. What's up? And I can't keep doing that.
Right.
So I feel like in order for me to get by that situation, I got to stop messing with her because that's the only reason why he's coming at me like that. He's not coming at me because I'm just the guy that cut hair or a guy that's walking down the street. He coming at me because he see me around his child.
There was actually a story where a guy actually ended up beheading his ex's new dude. Yeah,
Oh,
hidden like the bushes or the trees or something.
Oh
like that,
my
and cut his
God.
head off.
oh my
Yeah.
God.
But going back to it, I think the key in both situations is like being honest and actually having those hard conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because even when, like with your situation, you're like, hey, I'm not doing anything with these people. You know, I think in Nick Cannon's situation, he's obviously still fucking around with these women, right? But they have an understanding though, and he's being truthful and honest about it. And they're like, you know what, I've accepted that, and they're willing to enter the relationship knowing these things. You know what I'm saying? So we have those conversations. Then at the end of the day, that we shouldn't have any confusion or any issues
Because it's up front.
because it's up front. You know what I'm saying? So you're now allowing the person to come in knowing what's happening and allowing them to make the decision to actually enter into that relationship with you or into that situation with you, whatever that situation might look like, whatever it may be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the Cannon man.
And, honestly, I don't think he just sleeping around getting women pregnant. I've heard him talk about it before. He was talking about the and I don't want to misquote him. I don't want to put no false stuff out there. But he was talking about this situation. I guess he got a
Allegedly.
medical condition. So he's saying that he understands that he's not going to be around for long, right? So basically, I guess he's just trying to be fruitful out here.
Yeah, he's trying to-
So he's trying to leave his legacy,
procreate.
right?
Leaving it-
but
yeah,
the thing is that,
absolutely.
but the thing is like, and I was listening to I don't know if I could say their names on air, but the Breakfast Club, right? And Charlamagne was like, yo, it's impossible for you because he has I think probably 4 kids and they all live in the same household. Like, and it's impossible for you to give them all the amount of attention that they need in the same household. Now you have 9 kids, all. I mean, like he has twins with this one and whatever the case might be, but ultimately they're spread out, right? How do you give them you? Yeah, you're Nick Cannon, you making a lot of money, and you're able to support them financially, right? But you know the kids need more than just that.
Absolutely.
Because like even my oldest, she don't understand the concept of money still.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
What kid
so
does?
right, exactly. So that doesn't mean anything. The fact that you can ask for whatever and get it does not mean anything. To them, that's normal.
Right.
You know, but are you going to show up to my football game, my
Right.
soccer game? Like, are you going to like those are the things that they remember?
And I think that means more.
I
to
do.
them.
I agree with you because
Yeah.
my shorty, she got. I don't know how many toys she has, and still ask for another one, and forgot about the one she got yesterday.
Right.
But she gonna sit me down like, Daddy, you didn't come to that game that I had with it. I had to work. You know what I'm saying? But they remember those things. They remember those moments where you show up for them, and it means just so. It's just way bigger than those material things. Yeah. So the question is like, yes, you're out here leaving your legacy. Right, you're out here being fruitful because you feel as though you may not be around for a while, right? Mm-hmm. And you have the money, because even Elon Musk, I think he has like 7 or 8 kids, right? You can clearly support them, but is there damage being done because you aren't physically there, or you can't physically be there?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And then you giving more time, depending on, I guess, whichever baby mama you with. You giving more time to that child because you with. You know,
that child's actually in the home with you, or whatever the case might be. Yeah.
And kids remember that.
Yeah. And that could cause some kind of conflict between the kids. Like, think about the not too long ago, the thing went viral where dude brought his son McDonald's. Right, to the house just for his son. Yeah. But the baby mom had multiple kids that weren't by him.
Yep.
Right. Actually, before we go into what did y'all think about that? Was he wrong for that?
Man,
I don't think he was wrong.
Okay, why? Explain. Show your answer.
Yeah, go ahead, Ferg.
That's not his child. That's not his responsibility. That's her kid. And whoever the baby daddy is, that's their responsibility. That's not that man's responsibility. His responsibility is that one kid.
So all right, so let's put this in context now, right? Because apparently, I did do some reading or research into it. By research, I mean Google, right?
That's a research engine.
Right. That's why most people do research, right? They were dating at first. And while they were dating, he stepped up and took care of all of the kids. Now that they're broken up, he's like, nah, this one's actually mine. Right. And he hungry, I'm gonna bring him food.
I feel him.
Okay, so even with that being in context, right? You still think that he was
right? That's not that ain't my seed.
Okay.
Yeah, I rock with you, man. You cool, you know what I'm saying? Little bro, sis, whatever, because I don't know the details of whether it was a boy or girl. But you're not my responsibility.
What's that?
You're not.
I think it was multiple kids. It wasn't just like one other kid.
None of y'all. Y'all ain't.
Because that could change the dynamic.
None of y'all my responsibility.
The thing about it is this, right? Something happened to make him feel that way towards her and those kids.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because I've dated a girl who had, this is back in the day, you know, when I was in the military. I was dating a girl who had 3 kids. She was older than me. I think I was 21 at the time. She was 26. She had 3 kids. And by 2 different guys. And while I was dealing with her, I take care of the kids too. You know, if I'm going over there, I bring her something to eat or something like that. Or she had to go to work or something. She had to go somewhere. I'll be with the youngest one or something like that. But
you was dating her though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if I stepped up and did that while I was dating her and I had a baby by her, and I got a relationship with those kids, for me to come and drop off food to just my son, that means me and her got an issue. You see what I'm saying?
Are you taking it out on the kids at that point?
No, you're not. That ain't your kids. That ain't your responsibility. But what I'm saying is,
but you are taking it out on the kids at that point, especially if you're taking care of them.
In my case, what I'm saying is, since I was so cool with her kids, now I got a kid by her. Like, those kids still cool. I'm still cool with them. So if I'm bringing my son food, I'm going to bring those kids food too, because I was there with them. So I said, what makes that change is the 2 adults had an issue. They had to. You see what I'm saying?
Like, absolutely.
It's either she did some foul, which is that. I'm not trying to blame her, but she had to do some foul in his ass.
Right.
For him to say, I'm just gonna drop my son off this McDonald's and not yours. So that's kind of tough. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he right. I'm not saying he wrong. The reason why I'm gonna say I'm gonna give him 50-50. He right and he wrong. He right because he taking care of his responsibility. He wrong because he knows there's other kids there. And evidently he knew when he was going to get there at that time of day that her kids was going to be there.
Right.
So when he brought the food, that he knew, I'm bringing, because the way he did it was like, yo, I'm bringing this for my son.
Sure.
So he knew those kids were going to be there. So he's wrong for that. But my thing is, what got him to the point where he say, this just for my son? forget everybody else.
Right.
So it's got to be something between them two that nobody's talking
That's
about.
why context is so important. The background.
But still, I think that even as a man, or even as an adult, you still have to make certain decisions, right? Regardless of what context is, right? And I do agree with you. Something may have happened between him and the mom where he's like, you know what, fuck you, right? But that has nothing to do with the kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If you was taking care of them kids before, now, but now we have let's go a little deeper than that. Like, was it that you were taking care of those kids because you was trying to get the pussy?
Probably.
Right. You know, and you probably actually couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know, you was trying to look good in front of her eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now you're doing whatever you can do so you can keep.
Right.
So, man, that's a
and
good
keep
point.
fucking, right?
So now,
Exactly.
Now you're like,
ain't getting it no
realistically,
more.
my
I
pocket's
ain't got
really
to
not
do
like
it.
that.
Right, I ain't
So I'm
got to
not,
do it
but
now.
but again, it comes back to making the right decision. Because here's why I hold him accountable, right? Because if I can only afford my child, no one's other kids are in there. I'm not gonna bring my child food to that space. I'm like, you know what? I'm coming to get my son, and I'm gonna take him out to eat, or whatever the case might be.
Or eat on the way.
Right, exactly. Because here's what happens now. Not only is there an issue with you and the baby mama, now there's an issue with your son and those other kids. Because now they're jealous. They're like,
absolutely.
Because now they can physically see he has a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
We darn Happy Meal.
We about to beat your ass.
Right.
He
For the chicken
wrong,
nugget.
right? I know I said I gave him 50-50 earlier, but he's absolutely wrong. So I'm gonna change my stance on that, and I'm gonna tell you why he's absolutely.
Because I convinced them.
Yeah, you did because
Good
of that
job.
point you just made. But this is exactly why he's absolutely wrong, and this is the conversation that we need to have. Because what you said was very important, man. What he did by bringing that Happy Meal affected so many other lives and decisions in that point.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
now your son looks like, you know, he's the bad guy because he's eating a Happy Meal in front of his other
That's on the
siblings.
mama. That's on her.
But
That's not on him.
But the father did it.
But he's not making
That's on
any
her.
decisions. He just know he's hungry and I gotta eat.
When he brought that Happy Meal to his son, and his son's gonna eat that Happy Meal in front of his brothers and sisters' face. Like G said, now they mad, they jealous.
That still
and
go
they
back
upset.
to her.
It still go back to her, but
that's on
I'm
her.
focusing on the kids.
The kids need to be like, Mom, you did this.
But it's gonna start a fight
But they don't
between
know
the
that.
kids. They don't know that. So now you're looking
All
at
they know is he has and I don't.
yeah. So now the kids fighting and bickering amongst each other, and now at the same time, now you got the kids thinking. Now this is another part that's gonna be bad too, because I don't know the other stance of the fathers that's involved with those kids. But now these kids probably looking at it like, my dad ain't shit. And their dad might be okay, but he might be somewhere else.
Right.
But since they see Jermaine's dad bring him Happy Meals all day, like, where my dad at? So now you got to, where my dad at? Why my dad ain't around? Why he always eating McDonald's? So that whole thing, it just stir up a lot of stuff in that house.
But why should we put all that on that man?
Because he brought the Happy Meal, man.
He
he could have avoided all that by
but
just
he
letting
was
them eat
doing what
on
he
the
was
way
supposed to
there.
do.
Yeah, he doing what he was supposed to do.
But he wasn't with the child. Like he brought the Happy Meal to the house. With the
Yeah,
child being
so
in the home.
like what you say, you should have picked him up and took him. Because see, this is the thing. We don't do a lot of thinking. Like how you say, you got
No. So I think that it was done intentionally.
That's what I'm saying.
okay.
That's,
I think he's being petty. I think like and again,
I didn't think about that till you brought that point up. He definitely.
I think he was being petty because you could have made so many decisions, right?
Absolutely.
Before getting there's so many different ways to avoid that, and you know because you're in a relationship, you know that there are other kids there, so you know that it's going to start some kind of issue. And if you have been with this woman and your child is old enough to eat McDonald's.
Yeah.
You know that woman's tendencies. So you know that woman's gonna be like, "Oh, now what the fuck are you doing?" You know she's gonna check your ass.
Right.
But you wanted a reaction. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm holding him accountable. Because you wanted her to be like, you wanted her to say some shit. And you want to be like, you wanted to prove your point. Like, nah, this my. You wanted to be like, nah, this my kid. You wanted to be like, nah, this my kid.
Yeah.
Because you've been dealing with her for a while.
Petty.
You know what I'm saying?
You know her tendencies. You know her.
If your child's
reactions.
old enough to eat McDonald's, he got to be at least two.
Yeah.
And you was messing with her before you had the child. So it's over 2 years of a relationship with this woman. So you know she didn't just turn. I'm gonna put you on. She been like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
You feel me? So
He
you
wrong
knew
for
the fuck.
being petty, but we can't let her slide completely. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta hold her accountable. a little bit. Like you gotta put some responsibility on her a little bit. We put
So
too much
how we
on the
hold
male,
how we hold? No, I agree with you because that's the point of this show is to shed light to the good black fathers out there, not just the good black, just the good fathers.
Y'all ain't all bad. You know what I'm saying?
All bad.
I mean,
but because like I do honestly believe that the media does spin things, in the mother's favor, reality. But the thing is that in this particular situation, like we wouldn't be knowing anything about that situation if he did not bring the McDonald's to the house.
Right.
That's just a fact.
True.
You feel me?
True.
And she shouldn't have posted it.
yeah,
Right, honestly.
she should.
Because see, that's the
that's
posted.
Because they ain't nobody business.
Exactly, and
Ain't
see that's
nobody
the thing. See, this is the problem we have as people. You know, we do everything backwards.
Okay,
right?
Speak to me.
You know, we look at them first for the physical. Oh yeah, I smashed that. Then we get the number.
Are you talking about men or just people in
Just
general?
people in general. Remember women too.
Yeah, women do.
We get involved with each other. We have sex. We do what we do, and then we got to figure out who they are.
Right.
By that time, it's too late. It's too late because you already know what the feelings like. You already know what she about.
Right.
Like she could be crazy, but the way she throwing that thing back, I don't even care about crazy right now.
Right.
But
if
if you'd have figured that out,
that make it more interesting.
Ain't it right?
Right.
But if you'd have figured all that out before you slept with her, then now you're making your decisions like, man, if I sleep with this girl, because you got to think once you start messing with each other, once you get physical, that's a whole.
But we see. I think that,
door.
I always talk about it all the time, right? And that's always been the thing, right?
Yeah.
But I think that it's getting worse because of social media.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have social media models. I mean, like Instagram models, this, that, and the third, or whatever the case might be. And it's funny because I think I said something to you to the effect of like women go out, right, and they look sexy as fuck, right, and a man approaches them based off of what they look like in that moment, right, and then they mad because like why you liking my pics? Why you my DM?
Yeah.
My trade, correct? If I came in and I took the cape and I sat in your chair and you cut my hair, should I be mad?
No, hold on, wait a minute. You mean it? No.
If you're a barber,
I'm sorry.
And I sat in your chair.
I misunderstood what you said. You sat in the chair.
I sat
you
in your
cut
chair.
your hair.
No, and you cut my hair.
it.
I sat in your chair because you're the barber. You cut my hair. Should I trip?
Should you trip because I cut your hair?
No. I mean, yes. Correct.
No. You shouldn't trip because you came for a haircut, right?
But that's what you're assuming because you're a barber and I sat in your barber chair.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you put your ass out and I like ass and
you come for ass
and I come for ass, should you be mad?
Man, I want to say it's two different things.
No,
I get what you're saying.
But politically correct.
I get what
you should
you're
be
saying.
like, no. As a woman, I should be able to express myself and be sexy and have no one harass me. I understand
That's what modern day will say.
But
modern day will say
right.
You're right.
But the reality is that
You're right.
As a man, I'm wired a certain way.
Absolutely.
Right. I'm wired as a hunter. You looking like meat.
Yeah,
I'm about to eat.
So you insinuate that you know what you're doing. If you planting the thirst trap and I fall into it, you shouldn't get mad at me.
Thank you.
That's all you saying.
That like literally like.
Now
like,
what Ferg has on right now, right?
There she go.
And I'm not saying what she has on. Like what she has on right now should have me dive in her DM saying, "Let me get some of that."
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But I don't have to be like, oh my God, leave me alone. I could just ignore it.
That's
but,
it.
Like
you just ignore
the
it.
issue is that I think that we went way to another conversation or topic, whatever. The issue is that when women do these things and a man approaches them based off of what they do, they act like they're innocent and not doing exactly what it is that they're doing.
And
That's the issue.
As a woman, I can safely say we know what the fuck we doing.
Exactly.
Ain't no way. I don't want to hear like. And I'm a woman, and I'm saying this.
Because you speaking the truth.
Yeah,
exactly.
hell yeah.
But that's why you here, because I know you're gonna be.
Like I ain't gonna lie. We know what the fuck we doing.
So look at that.
But you're right. We really do play like, oh my God, like why are you doing this? Bitch, you got your whole ass out.
If you got your ass,
he whack if he don't.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
If you got your ass all on,
because if you don't do, you won't think he gay.
Right, you gonna think he gay as a bitch. attention. I so be like, oh, he must be gay.
So what's the balance?
Right. Then you feeling some type of way like, oh shit, what's wrong with me?
Exactly.
They ain't saying nothing.
Exactly.
I ain't got no likes. I ain't got no DMs.
You wanna know what's so funny? When you post those pictures of your ass and you revealing stuff like that, the dudes that slide in your DMs and do the likes, you should overlook those. You should look at the guys who ain't saying nothing.
Right.
Because the guys that sliding in there, you already know they fell into the trap.
Y'all thirsty.
Right.
So you know what they doing.
Right.
You should go for the guy. I mean, he ain't never liked none of my pictures, but he following me.
Right.
He look at my stories. He looking, but he ain't like nothing.
Or he ain't sliding in the DM.
You might be running guys off, the right man off from you because you doing that stuff. Like I said, man, when social media first, like I was on Facebook when you had to have a college ID to get on it.
Absolutely.
That's how long ago I was on Facebook.
That's when it first started. That was 1975.
You know what I'm saying? That was back in the 1900s.
In the 1900s.
1999 is when I was on Facebook. The 1900s. But that was back when you had to have a college ID to get on Facebook, right? So you gotta look at it like this, man. I was looking a girl that I knew. You know, we exchanged information. We was talking to each other. I was her Facebook friend. I stopped pursuing her because of what she was posting on Facebook. Easily. I mean, I'm not mad at social media.
Right.
Social media can help you out if you use it right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right. That's a fact.
And I'm nothing against weed smokers, but that's all she did was smoke weed. All she did was party and do it. I ain't with all that right now. So I'm glad she presented that before I got into it and started messing with her. And then I seen all that. Now I got to make a decision. I'm like, oh shoot, man, she put it all out there on the line.
Right.
So I did it. And it's the same thing with the thirst traps and you putting yourself out there like that. Like you can't expect, and this is just from a man perspective. I'm not there. I'm sorry. I'm letting you know right now. I'm not the guy that can date a stripper. And nothing against strippers. I'm not a guy that can do that type of stuff. I'm not a guy that can date the girl that's out there putting her ass all that out there and stuff. Because I'm not there where I can be like, man, that's my girl. I don't care about it. I don't care about the dude sliding her DMs.
Right.
At the same time, I'm not going to do that to her neither. I'm not going to set no thirst traps and stuff for her like that either. But that's not the type of girls I look out for. Because I can... you can show that workout video without putting your whole ass in the camera.
I was gonna say something like that, but here's my thing, right?
That's how I look at it.
Right.
So let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this, like, because people talk about these things all the time, right? People present.
Was that a shot?
Yeah, no. I already know who you think about. Look. People present.
I cut hair.
Right.
Nah. It was a shot.
I'm about to say,
it was a shot. Look. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, right? Social media is its own.
I found some new angles though. At the time I had a bit of a pug.
I'm not talking about you.
I ain't want to front. You know,
I'm not talking about you.
It's all right.
Listen, you can do what you want to do.
All right.
But what I'm saying is.
All right.
All right, so.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Social media, in a lot of cases, is legitimately its own world, right?
Absolutely.
And
it's the
metaverse. Legit. It is the metaverse. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
We've been in the metaverse
for a long
time.
But here's the thing, though, right? Because I think that other people have found a way to profit off the metaverse. That's why it's something separate. But you're right. But the thing is that you have to see it in a lot of different ways, right? Social media, some people truly present who they actually are, right? But social media is also a front for who people want to be. Right. It's like transferring to a new school and reinventing yourself. Right? So it's like even with that, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. Right? So the thing about it, right, is like if you really truly understand people, you understand like the difference between the woman who's utilized social media to actually become and run a business versus the woman who's actually just out there looking for attention. You know what I'm saying? Because those are two totally different things.
Absolutely.
You know, because you see the difference between those posts. Because, like, there are women who are out there who are legitimately, like, hey, understand, like, hey, look, I look the way that I look. That's like being mad at a model for being a model. I understand what I look like. And I could capitalize and make money off this. Why not? Because I don't have to do anything but continue doing what I've been doing. Continue doing what I've been doing, right? So there are people who are actually out there like that, but they put up that wall, not that wall, but that persona that they're this person. But the reality is that they really truly are humble, or they really truly are wholesome. But they understand like, hey, look, this is what is selling, and I'm gonna put this out there so that I can actually capitalize off of what I've been blessed with.
Thank you. You defended me in that moment.
You're very welcome. I was thinking about you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I felt that too. I felt that
You know
too.
what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. Because I'm finna knock this one out over here with all that. Thank you, G.
I got you. But
It just depends. It depends on what the motive is. You gotta get to the motive.
It's like
you gotta understand that I wasn't talking about you.
Dang,
we know who you. I know who you're talking about.
I know. Like I know you won't talk about. I know who he was talking about too.
No, but listen. No, man.
He not trying to get in trouble.
Let's clear this up, man. I won't talk about nobody in particular. This is what I'm saying.
But there's more of that type of.
I'm going to what G is saying, man. Like, you can't get mad at a lion for being a lion.
Right. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be mad at a man for being a man.
Right.
If I go to, and again, I don't want to use that because everybody that's stripping is not stripping for you to be touching.
Yeah, and not too much on the strippers because I love strippers.
While y'all talking, fill my cup up.
What I'm saying is,
I don't have an example.
You cannot get mad at a guy for sliding in your DM because all you doing is posting thirst traps. Like, you know what you're doing. Even if that's not what you're doing.
How do you know if they are thirst traps? Oh, thank you.
Listen to me. I'm okay shape, but let's use G for example. Do G have to take his shirt off to let you know that he's a personal trainer? He can show you how to get that physique? Does he have to take his shirt off to show you that?
2 hands.
Yes or no, Ferg?
No.
He don't have to take his shirt off.
Absolutely not.
Okay, cool. So if he posts a picture right now, workout video with just that shirt on, some workout shorts, working out, you get the point. You can see that's what I want to be.
Right.
He's my personal trainer.
Right.
Now let's just say he take a video with his shirt off, with the gray sweatpants on, working out. What is he saying now?
He's saying not only am I gonna train you.
I'm gonna take everything you got.
You see
Not only I'm gonna train you, but I'm gonna train you.
You're gonna get these sayings. And you're gonna get private sessions too.
Especially if the sweatpants great.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if they great, we on a whole nother level. They could be. You can take a shirt off and have on black sweatpants, and it won't nobody even say nothing. But them motherfuckers great.
Yeah, that's a different message.
Hey, then you putting out a different message.
Take his shirt off and have on gray sweatpants, right? And he could have a missing tooth at the front. You ain't even gonna see the tooth.
Right, you just gonna see them gray sweatpants.
Same thing about that ass in the camera. She can have a whole mustache. But when you see that ass, you going for that. So what I'm saying, but my point is, it's ways to show that this is what I'm doing without exposing yourself.
Right.
Because when you expose yourself like that, you're opening up the door for people to come through there.
Right.
If I open up a door, whatever birds, bees, flies, spiders, snakes, whatever come through the door, I open the door for that.
Right.
But if I open the door and crack it, the screen's still there. And I'm looking outside, those birds ain't even gonna try to come into the door because they see the other screen is protecting them from getting in.
But you know what?
Right.
I think
So
that,
what
that,
I'm saying
but
is,
that brings like a different, I guess, not perspective, but that brings up a different. What's the word I'm looking for? But yeah, it's because now we're talking about people who are not willing to, like people who play the victim and aren't willing to accept
what they're doing.
What they're like, not what they're doing, but the consequences of what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, and I had this conversation with somebody here, like recently, right? The difference between me and this person, like, hey, look, yo, I understand what it is that I do, and I'm not perfect, but the difference between me and you is that I'm going to accept the consequences of what my decision was.
Right.
So if I open the door and some shit fly in here, I'm on it because I'm expecting to deal with shit flying in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you open the door, you get surprised, like, why somebody flying? Right. You open the fucking door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's how these women are acting. So the issue is like, the question is like, do y'all actually really know what you're doing, or are y'all really like that blind to where you're like, you know what? I don't know why these niggas is in my DM. All I'm doing is posting my ass out. Why would they do that? Why would they,
and the fact that
doesn't
people
make
are
sense to
like,
me.
why? And that has happened to me. Y'all already know. But at that point, and I don't even post my workout videos as much as I used to. But yeah, I did have a back shot. And my ass was all over. My ass is identified in public. They like, oh, I know that ass.
But here's the thing.
But my thing
with you is you actually working glutes and legs.
Right.
I be seeing women, here's my arm workout.
With
And then both of you be in the bed, I'm like,
exactly,
what the-
right. So
Yeah.
when I get the DMs, and I get the DMs, when I get the DMs,
Ferg get the
I'm like, I
DMs.
get the DMs.
Hey,
It ain't
let her
nothing,
know,
it
Ferg.
ain't a surprise. It
Yeah.
ain't shocked. I tell my nigga I got the DMs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now, if you
take
frying the
it.
egg and you getting your protein shake ready,
Uh-huh.
right? You blending your protein shake.
Right.
With the egg.
No, she eggs for food. She
Eggs
eating
for food,
She
and I'm making a
breakfast.
protein shake.
Yeah, you frying your eggs.
But
you
if the
blending your
camera-
protein shake. But now you shaking your protein shake up.
And the ass is just.
But your ass in the
clap.
camera just shaking.
Yeah, now if someone
You know
is
what
doing
you
that,
doing.
you know what the fuck.
That's
you're
what
doing.
I'm saying.
Right, and if
That's
the
all I'm
DMs
saying.
come, then you had that come.
Exactly.
And you
So- so-
can't
so-
play
so-
the.
You be shaking your ass
So-
while
you shaking.
You know what you're doing.
But
So
if
what is
that
the moral
bitch,
of
if
the
that
story,
bitch
guys?
shakes,
you working glutes
What's the
and
moral-
all that.
Right.
What's the moral of the story, guys? What's the moral of the story?
the moral of the story is you have to accept responsibility for your actions.
Whether you shaking your ass and sitting
Right.
and working and making a
Right.
protein shake, whether you buying McDonald's for one kid, knowing there's 8 kids in the building.
Exactly.
right.
You know what I'm saying? What else we
gotta-
talk about?
you gotta be respectful.
whether you got 8
Whether you
baby
being
daddies
fruitful.
and
Right.
multiplying, because the
Procreate.
Bible did say that.
Yeah,
For
you
those
got
of you who
to
are Christians out
you
there,
got to
right?
accept responsibility
Right.
for
Know
your
what
actions.
you're doing, understand who you are, accept your responsibilities, and handle those responsibilities.
That's right.
Exactly.
And,
Right.
and one more thing.
What's up?
With the Nick Cannon thing that she was talking about, with Charlamagne saying that, the kids in the house. Listen, Nick Cannon having all the kids, he can't split himself in half and be everywhere to take care of all the
He gonna
kids.
split more stuff in half.
But that's a problem we all have
Right.
Absolutely.
because the way the world is, whether we like it or not, we're in the same situation as Nick Cannon.
It's just different things. It's not
what
that's
I'm
just
saying
kids.
is this.
I agree.
Your kids will spend the majority of their life getting life lessons from a stranger than you.
Right. From
They
their
go to school
teacher.
for 8 hours.
I'm gonna say from their teacher.
While
right.
you at work for 8 to 9
Right.
hours.
Right. Absolutely.
By the time you get home, you're tired. You're tired of the girl that brought the funky ass chicken to work, that's been putting it in the microwave. You're tired of her stuff all day. You're
Right.
tired of your boss. So
Talk
when you
to
get
him.
home, you ain't got time to speak to your kids and
That's
see what's
so
going
true.
on. You're getting home 6 o'clock at night. God forbid your kids got practice. Now you got to take them to practice. Now they getting home at 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
Now they eat, take a shower, go to bed. You don't know what the hell your kid been through that day.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that's just how society got it bred. It's set up that the most important people to a child is the family. But the family is pulled away from the child. But that's just how the world's set up. You know what I'm saying? So we can sit here all day and be like, man,
But that's why
they
they
gotta
say-
stop having all these kids. You can't be with them all the time. I can't be with my kids all the time. I don't give a damn. Your kids stay with you in the house.
But that's why they say.
That's why you got to be intentional in your actions. You have
Absolutely.
to spend some time,
With your
even if
kids.
it's 5 minutes from practice to the house. You got to ask your children, "What did you do today? What did you learn today?"
But
what
What's the
that's why
highlight
the
of your
old
day?
saying is, it takes a village
It
to
takes
raise.
a
Right.
village.
It takes
Right.
That's
but
what I
so
was
so
trying
it's
to
not
get at.
just the conversation with your kids, but it's a conversation with those people that they're involved with, the
Right.
teachers, the coaches,
Everybody's
the-
involved.
Everybody who's
man.
involved is those conversations. I think we're kind of missing out on that portion.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause no
You
one's
hear
on
a
the
lot
same
of
page.
athletes and people who in the NFL, man. That's why you see Kevin Durant wear the number of his basketball coach or something like that. His basketball, even though his father wasn't there, his basketball coach probably had a greater influence on his life than anybody in his life. Because mom, think a single mother.
Right.
That means she got to work 2-3 jobs.
Right.
But even a man, or even a married couple who got kids is working. What about the guy that's flying to Chicago tomorrow for a business meeting? He ain't there for 6-7 days.
Absolutely.
Mama got to work and stuff like that. So it's like we're trying to crucify people for having all these kids and not being there for their kids. When we do the same exact thing
with 2-3 kids. You feel
with
me?
one kid.
With one, right?
Right. But ain't nobody sitting around, which they should, but no one is sitting around self-reflecting. But they need to. People should just sit back
But
and
that goes back to
self-reflect.
knowing yourself once again, understanding,
Right.
and not playing the victim mentality, and understanding like what it is you're actually bringing to the table, who you are, and how you're affecting your situation and your kids. But with that being said, it is our time. Once again, that was Black Baby Daddy. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode, and we will see you guys next week. Big Bird, I'm Tyler Barber.
Man, you was talking about me a little bit. Just a little bit. I mean, I think just